My mom said, "I don't care if you're ready or not. I want grandkids now." I never expected my own mother to pressure me like this. I never imagined I'd be sitting across from my own mother, hearing her say something like that, but here we are. A little about me. I'm 32, a practicing dentist. I've spent most of my adult life focusing on my career, building my practice, and honestly, enjoying the freedom that comes with it. I live in Denver with my partner, James. We've been together for 5 years. Both of us are career-focused, travel whenever we can, and have always agreed that having kids just isn't on the table, at least not right now. Maybe not ever. My mom's always been supportive, or so I thought. She raised me to be independent, to work hard, and to make my own choices. But lately, something's shifted. It started subtly. Comments like, "You're not getting any younger," or, "Your cousin Emily just had her second baby, isn't that wonderful?" I brushed them off, assuming it was just typical parent talk. Annoying, sure, but harmless. Then, last Sunday, everything escalated. She invited me over for dinner, nothing unusual. She made all my favorites: baked salmon, roasted veggies, that lemon pie she knows I can never resist. But something felt off. She was unusually quiet at first, barely touching her food. Halfway through, she put down her fork and looked me straight in the eye. "I'm just going to say it," she began. "I don't care if you're ready or not. I want grandkids now." I sat there, stunned. Not because the topic was new, but because of how direct, how forceful it suddenly became. "Mom, we've talked about this," I replied, trying to stay calm. "James and I aren't ready for that. We may never be. We're happy with our lives as they are." Her face tightened. "You've had enough time to enjoy your life. You've traveled. You've built your career. What else is there? You're wasting precious years. Women aren't meant to just work forever." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Mom, I'm not wasting anything. My career isn't just some placeholder until motherhood happens. It's my life. Our life. And this isn't a decision anyone gets to make for us." She sighed, shaking her head. "You always were stubborn. You think you know better than everyone. But you don't see the big picture. I didn't raise you to be alone in your old age. Having children isn't just about you, it's about family. About continuity. About not being selfish." That word, selfish, hit harder than I expected. I took a deep breath. "So, you think I'm selfish because I don't want the exact same life you had?" She folded her arms. "I gave up plenty to raise you. I could have been more than a secretary, you know. I had dreams too, but family comes first. Always." There was this long pause between us. I didn't know what to say. Part of me felt guilty, but another part felt angry. Angry that my own mother, who always told me I could be anything, was now telling me I was somehow less because I wasn't rushing to have children. I tried one more time. "Mom, it's not like James and I haven't thought about it, but it's not right for us right now. And maybe it never will be. You need to accept that." Her voice softened, but the words stung even more. "I'm getting older, honey. I won't be here forever. I want to hold my grandchild before it's too late. Is that really too much to ask?" I pushed my plate aside. I couldn't eat anymore. The room felt heavier than I ever imagined a simple dinner with my mother could feel. She sat there waiting, almost expecting me to change my mind on the spot. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't sure how to respond. The drive home that night felt longer than usual. James noticed the tension the moment I walked through the door. He was curled up on the couch, half watching some documentary, and asked casually, "Hey, how was dinner?" I dropped my bag by the door and sat next to him. "Not great." When I told him what my mom had said, word for word, his face shifted from confusion to disbelief. "She really said that?" "Yup." I leaned back, rubbing my eyes. "She basically told me she doesn't care if I'm ready or not. She wants grandkids now, and that I'm selfish for not wanting them yet." James sighed, putting his arm around me. "Wow, that's a lot. Where did this even come from?" "I don't know. Maybe seeing Emily have her second kid just pushed her over the edge." I shrugged. Or maybe she's been holding this in for years and finally snapped. James was quiet for a moment. Then he said something that really stuck with me. "It's crazy how people forget we're not extensions of them. Like we're supposed to live the life they wanted, not the one we actually want." He wasn't wrong. The next morning, I woke up to a long text from my mom. It started with, "I just want what's best for you," but quickly spiraled into guilt-tripping. Things like, "You think you'll be young and energetic forever? You won't. Don't come to me crying when it's too late." And, "I didn't raise you to be alone. You'll regret this." I put my phone down, feeling this tight knot in my chest. I hadn't expected this to turn into a full-blown war. But it felt like that's where it was headed. For the next few days, I tried to keep my distance. I buried myself in work, appointments, cleanings, patient consultations, anything to avoid thinking about it. But it was like a cloud hanging over me. Every time my phone buzzed, I felt this mix of dread and guilt. Then, on Thursday, something happened that caught me completely off guard. I was between patients when my receptionist poked her head into my office. Dr. Taylor, your mother's here." I blinked. "What?" "She's in the waiting area. Says she needs to speak with you. It seems urgent." I stepped out, and there she was, sitting stiffly in one of the waiting chairs, arms crossed, looking like she hadn't slept much. "Mom, what are you doing here?" I asked quietly, glancing around. Thankfully, the waiting room was empty except for her. She stood up immediately. "We need to talk. You've been ignoring me." "Mom, this isn't the time or place." But she didn't budge. "Fine. Then come outside for 5 minutes." Reluctantly, I followed her out to the parking lot. She didn't waste time. "I'm serious, Amelia. I don't have years left to wait around. You think you have forever, but you don't. Neither do I. And frankly, I'm disappointed. You've always been so focused on yourself. Your job, your travels, your relationship. But family matters more than any of that." "Mom, you don't get to decide what matters more to me," I said firmly. "I love my job. I love my life. James and I are happy. And it's not like I've shut the door on kids forever, but it's not happening right now. And it might not ever happen." Her eyes narrowed slightly. "Then what was the point of everything I sacrificed for you? So you could end the family line with you?" That line hurt, more than I expected. "Mom, is that seriously how you see me? As a disappointment because I'm not rushing to give you a grandchild?" She didn't answer right away. Just crossed her arms and looked away, like maybe she regretted saying it, but wasn't ready to back down either. Finally, she muttered, "I just never imagined you'd choose this life. Alone. Empty." I felt this mix of sadness and frustration. It's not empty. It's full. Full of things that bring me joy and love. Just because it doesn't look like your version of life doesn't mean it's wrong. We stood there for a long moment in silence. Cars drove by. A breeze rustled the trees. Neither of us seemed ready to speak next. But I knew something had changed between us, and I wasn't sure if we'd come back from it. That night, James and I sat at the kitchen table, just processing everything. I told him about how Mom showed up at my office, what she said in the parking lot, all of it. He shook his head, rubbing his hands over his face. "That's wow. Honestly, that crosses a line." I nodded. "It does. I just don't get it. She wasn't like this before. Or maybe I never noticed." James leaned back. "You know, I think this isn't really about you. I think it's about her. About her fears. Getting older. Feeling like time is slipping away. Maybe seeing her friends become grandparents made her realize something she wasn't ready to face. That actually hit me harder than I expected. Because he wasn't wrong. The next few days were quiet. Too quiet. No texts. No calls. Nothing. I debated reaching out, but a part of me felt like, why should I? I didn't start this. Then Saturday came. I woke up to an email. From her. Not a text, not a call, an email. That alone told me she'd had time to sit with everything. It wasn't an apology. Not exactly. But it was softer. She wrote, "I never meant to make you feel like you're a disappointment. I'm scared. Scared of getting old. Scared of being alone. I see my friends surrounded by grandkids and family, and I wonder what my future looks like. Maybe I pushed too hard. Maybe I'm trying to hold on to something that was never mine to control." She went on to say that she did still wish things were different, that she could be a grandmother, but she didn't want to lose her relationship with me over it. That was something. Not perfect, but something. I sat with it for a while before replying. I told her the truth, that I understood where her feelings were coming from, that I wasn't angry at her for having hopes or dreams of being a grandmother, but that those are her dreams, not mine, and that I wouldn't, build my life around what someone else wanted from me, even if that someone was her. I told her I loved her, but I needed her to love me for who I am, not who she imagined I'd be. She didn't reply right away. It actually took a few more days before I got a simple text back. "I hear you. I'm trying." Since then, things have been cautious. We still talk. She asks about my day, my work, how James is. The topic of kids hasn't come back up, at least not directly. There are still subtle comments now and then, but they're softer, less forceful. And when it happens, I've learned to set boundaries quickly. Honestly, I'm still working through how I feel. There's a part of me that gets it. The fear of getting older, the fear of being alone. But there's another part of me that's frustrated that women like me, women with careers, passions, independence, are still seen as incomplete unless we follow a certain path. Not everyone wants the same things. Not everyone needs the same things to feel fulfilled. And the truth is, choosing not to have kids isn't selfish. For some of us, it's the most honest, thoughtful decision we can make for ourselves and the people we love. So yeah, that's where things stand. Not a dramatic ending. No big blow-up. Just real life. Messy. Complicated. Ongoing. I'm curious. Have any of you dealt with this kind of pressure? From family, parents, or even friends? How did you handle it? Did it change your relationship? Because honestly, it's still something I'm figuring out. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.